But let's say like putting 50% on like Grab, Hai Di Lao. What if that gives me like more happiness than like putting 50% in like investment or...
Imagine, right, if you're someone that like, wow, you really just die, want to save up for the future, and then what if like tomorrow, like touch wood lah, but tomorrow you die? That's so sad. You didn't even get to spend the money that you so kuku save up, you know.
Hi everybody, my name is Sherine.
And I'm Charmaine.
And welcome back to another episode of
How to Adult.
Okay, so today we'll be bringing back the topic of money, but we are not going to talk about just spending habits or insurance. Today we're going to talk about how to actually grow your money. So as we transition to adults, right, a lot of people around us keep telling us, you know, like, oh, you need to get rich quickly, you need to achieve FIRE, you need to like grow your pot of gold. So Charmaine, do you feel that way actually?
Yeah, actually I do feel that way. Like, especially, you know, after we graduate, like we are at the age whereby we have to make a lot of big like financial commitments, like house, getting married, maybe you want to consider having a kid, right? So all these things requires a lot, like, you know, money. So I think in order to fulfill all these like milestones, money is like something that people will generally talk about, because I believe that probably, like, you know, gatekeep all these milestones, you know, like, or because of the down payment and whatever, blah blah blah. So I would think that at that point, like after graduation, immediately everyone would think about like, oh, how can we, like, you know, quickly gain enough money so that we can do things that we want to do, and, you know, yeah, certain milestones that we want to fulfill in life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
do agree.
The fact that like everything is just getting even more and more expensive. Now we know that like, you know, managing money is not that simple, and you hear a lot of like financial jargons everywhere. There's like a lot of options online. You probably don't know where to start as well. And I saw online that actually there are 3 skills that you need to master. You need to master like making money, saving money, and growing money. But we have invited a very special guest today that have nailed all these. He has managed to grow his portfolio to 150k by the age of 30.
Yeah, so we are actually very excited today that we have like Joshua to actually share with us his experience and expertise. So let's welcome Joshua.
Yay.
Hi everyone, my name is Joshua. I'm the General Manager of FSMOne. Currently in my mid-30s. I think a decade older than the 2 young ladies over here. Maybe before I proceed more, maybe I share a bit more about FSMOne. We actually have retail investment platforms for retail investors like you and me, our family members, our friends, to invest into various product classes like stocks, ETF, bonds, or even manage portfolios at your own self without going through a financial advisors. We also offer all these products at very competitive pricings against the industry standards. We also have a very committed presence. This is actually our 25th year anniversary.
Ooh.
So we've been incepted since the year 2000, regulated by MAS. We also go through many hard times as a company, as a platforms. We go through global financial crises, wars, and also global pandemics such as SARS and COVID. So very excited to be here on this podcast today with these 2 nice ladies.
Yeah. So actually, before we, you know, get into how you built your portfolio to 150k by 30, right? Just want to ask, like, so why do you think this goal is like very important in the first place? So usually the saying is like, oh, you need to reach 100k by 30. But why 150k? Like, I thought 100k by 30 is really quite hard to achieve.
Okay, yeah, so I think during my time, which is like 10 years ago, the convention is always 100k by the age of 30. But now it's like 10-15 years later with inflations, everything with prices skyrockets, your hawker center foods, your HDB in millions. Which is why I think, hey, maybe we should put it 150k. So maybe have a more sensational title. And also, I think during my time when I first graduated, I worked at Standard Chartered Bank. I think my first pay was 2,500. But now I think the fresh grad are actually getting around 4k. So you compare the price difference, is about 60% increase. So I think it's fair enough to raise the bar even higher from 100k by 30 to 150k by 30.
So actually, after you achieve, like, or after people achieve this amount by 30, right, does it get easier for them, like after that, for their money to grow?
I think it will be much easier. I think from 2 various points. We also know that compounding effects is like the 8th wonder of the world, like what most people would say. Let's say investing, your returns about 5 to 10%. Okay, let's just take the numbers 10%. So if you already have 100k, you invest, get 10% returns. Without putting in more contributions, you really get extra 10,000 a year, and then this will actually add up with more compounding effects. Which is why I think 100k is a very important milestone for us to reach. Then from there, you was cultivated a very nice habits on getting this 100k. So things will get much easier from that point onwards.
Yeah, I do think so because really 150k is actually no easy feat. Furthermore, yeah, like what Sherine actually shared, that I thought 100k was like the norm.
Yeah.
Like so, like when I came over here, I see the podcast. I thought I'm like, huh, 150k by 30. Yeah, so when did that change, right?
So actually, has this amount, has it always been your target since young?
Okay, so actually I come from a lower middle income family. So as you know, usually in families there always be quarrels, and most of the time you analyze the quarrels, right? Actually all stems from money issues. So which is why from a young age I know that hey, actually money is especially very important. Which is why since the age of 16 I already have sort of like a milestone in mind, trying to achieve financial goals. So even though a lot of people will say that hey, money cannot solve all the problems in the world, but I believe that with enough money, 99% of the problems can be resolved.
Yes.
Which is why, which is why I think setting financial goals is very important, not for myself, but for everybody.
So you think money can buy you happiness actually?
Sure.
So actually, was there like a turning point where you thought that like, okay, now I need to be financially independent, or from the start you already had this concept ingrained in your mind? Like,
so I have this uncle. He's always very nice. Like whenever he see there's this IPO or what, then he will actually call my mom and tell her, hey, just put some money in. 1,000, 2,000 is fine. So that's where actually I get this financial informations from my uncles, and I started doing IPO investing once I think 18 years old and above. So at the point of time, right, like 10 years ago, the brokerage commissions was so crazily high. Like one trade could be $25. So in order to have easy or cheap access to it, then going through the IPO, when you go to the ATM to subscribe, it's just $2. So then from there, when I invest into IPO, I see, hey, actually the stocks can actually gain in prices and you make good returns from it. So this actually instilled the knowledge and habits for me that hey, I really need to earn money so that I can grow more money.
Yeah.
Well, but investing from 18 is quite... 18 means you're poly, JC.
NS? After JC?
I think about to graduate from poly, going to NS.
Poly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Then last time, because I mean, previously there weren't like online resources, I suppose. So like, where do you learn all these like investing stuff from?
So because I study in banking and finance, so I have some educations in polytechnic, and also subsequently they read some books, or when you talk to friends. Of course, at that time the information wasn't so ready as of now, right? So now you have YouTube, you have influencers, you have ChatGPT and all this. At our time, most of the time, just read the newspaper, the Business Times to get all these informations. But despite that, I think I didn't really a hardcore investors or so-called traders. So I just invest whatever small amount that I have into the markets, especially via the IPO methods. I think during that time, like 10, 15 years ago, there were a lot of companies doing IPO, especially all the REITs counter that we now know of.
I see. Yeah, actually, I also did banking and finance, like from poly.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think we kind of like went through like similar path. Yeah, and also at that age, most of my peers actually started investing, but maybe like what you mentioned, maybe there's a lot more like online investment platform already at that point in time. Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Well, I think when I was 18, I didn't know anything about like financial stuff. Never really like stepped into like stock market before also. So actually, do you like at what age do you hit like 150k? Was it like exactly at 30? And do you like grow your money to this amount mostly by like saving or investing?
Okay, I think I need to cover first. I think the 150k will also includes CPF portions as well.
Okay,
I think a bit challenging if just looking at cash portfolios. So I think I graduated at the age of 24, right? So from there I immediately start working. Then from there I just save up, invest a bit as and when. So I think I hit the 150k portions before my 30th birthday, which also includes the CPF portions. I think it's very doable. I think that time when my first pay was 2,500, right? So by the time you minus away the CPF portions, you need to take home at 2k. So I pride myself as a hardcore saver. So I save about 60 to 70% of my salary. Then at that time, there's this local banks that allow you to invest without any fees into STI. So that's how I do a forced saving into it. So so from there you contribute few thousand, like 1,500, 1,600 a month. So it actually builds up by the time I reach the age of 30. And then of course the markets also went up quite a bit. So all in all, the whole portfolio about 150k, including the CPF portions. Yeah.
Sorry, so by saving that 60 to 70% means that money that you save go into investment?
Yes.
Right. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I think I'm quite lucky because before that there wasn't any major liabilities I have. I don't have to pay student loan, which I'm very grateful for. Have that time haven't have any marriage plan or renovations. So most of my bulk of my salary actually goes into investments. I just keep a very minimal pocket money for my daily expenses for that. Yeah, I think then I also jump around for my job few times. Every 2 years I actually change job lah. So every time I change, I have increments pay. So with that incremental, then it allows me to save more money in the absolute terms as well.
So actually for fresh grads that just graduated, right? Let's say they have like a few financial commitments like all these student loans and debts, for example. Then is it realistic for them to hit this amount by 30? Like, do you think it's realistic?
Okay, so our most is 150k, right? So you have student loan, which is about 30, 40k. Then you give yourself a bit more allowance. So you try to hit like 100k by the age of 30. I think it's very possible. My wife, which is my girlfriend back then, she have a student loan of like 25,000. So, because she was in the creative design environment, I mean the course, right? So which means her job, the pay is actually much lesser than someone that started a career in finance. I think her take-home pay was like less than 2,000. But yet she have a student loan of about 1,500. But she still managed to pay off within 1 or 2 years. But it's sort of like actually cultivate her a very good habits in such a way that every time her salary come in, right, she will set aside this 1,500. So after she really finished paying her student loans, then she really had this habit of like saving this 1,500, be it for saving or for investments. So I think she also managed to hit quite a sizable amount when she hit 30 just by saving alone.
Wow, actually, when I talk to like some of my friends, like after they graduate, they have student loans as well. Then because they are very focused on, like trying to pay off the student loan, then they only can start saving or investing at 27 or 28. Then they feel like, oh, like now I'm like a bit too late into the game, Like what do you think about that?
I think the 100k or 150k by age 30 is just like a target to hit. It's not like a forced die must hit type of thing. So if you need to, you give yourself another 1 or 2 more years to do it. So as long as you set a goals, right, then you have the motivations to do it.
Yeah, I always think that the best time to invest is yesterday. So the next best time is today. So yeah, never too late to actually start investing. And yeah, I mean everyone like have like different financial commitments. So there's no one size fit all. So probably just take this target with a pinch of salt. It can just be a guideline. Yeah, but yeah.
Then for yourself, Charmaine, because like you have quite a few financial commitments after you graduated, right? You have like baby, you have a house. Then like how do you strive to achieve this goal? Or do you think it's even realistic for you at this point when you have like a lot of financial commitments to reach this goal?
Okay, honestly, I think like for me, I graduated like 2 years ago. So like I'm in iFAST for like 2 years. And like within that 2 years, 5 months I was on like maternity leave. So it's like really like like there's so much financial commitment that is coming to me at once. Like firstly is like my baby, then house, renovation, then maybe wedding, and then like maybe second baby. So it's like all these things like coming to me at once. And like it's actually quite challenging if I didn't like have like savings beforehand and like things like that, because like I think to even like just give birth, right, like give birth at the hospital and then like the confinement nanny, all these fees, everything add together, right, just bring my baby to this world is around like 20,000 already. So it's like I cannot imagine if I didn't have any savings, especially like with my husband also. So I think definitely required to like you to actually start investing early and also like start cultivating this kind of like saving money, that kind of habit. So I think for Joshua, like his target is like what, 60 to 70%, right? It's like investment of your take home pay. Like for me, it's like at this point, it's like 50% is like kept aside. So 50% of my take home pay is like kept aside, and then like 25% is like used for investment, and the other 25% is like put into the joint account with my husband. So like usually like for those like shared transaction, like for example if we go out and eat, then it's like we will deduct directly from there. So like for our baby like expenses like her milk powder, whatnot like diapers, wet wipes, all those also like will come from that joint account lah. So it's like a lot of things like baby, house, so like Joshua's target of like 150 by 30, I would think maybe it's doable. Yeah, with CPF inside I think it's doable. Yeah, because like I think saving, I mean for me like investing like 25% like every month, I think that would actually help to like reach towards that target. And furthermore, you know, Singapore property prices are always going up, right? So like actually if you count the paper gains, right, maybe like the amount you went out is enough to hit the 150k already.
Like if you include everything.
If you include everything, because I mean property is kind of like an investment, right? So yeah, I would think that I think it's doable. Especially like what Joshua mentioned, like back then and now our income is like a lot different, right? Compared to back then. And now since it's like adjusted, then technically our target should be higher than what Joshua said for himself.
I think everybody, the circumstances is different. I think Charmaine, because you have a kids early at a young age, which is a good thing because I think Singapore really need the population. But even for her circumstances, with house coming soon, she also managed to save 25%, which is a very respectable amount. Also given that now even at FSMOne we actually offer 0% regular saving plans with a minimum investment amount of just $50. So there's no excuse to not even start investing. So even you invest 10%, it's better than not having investments at all. If you can spend $50 on Grab or Haidilao, right, I'm pretty sure you can put aside these $50 for regular saving investments on a monthly basis.
Yeah, so exactly. So my 25% actually goes to like RSP. It's such a disciplined way of like investing. Like I don't really have to like monitor the markets and like, you know, it's like not emotional investing also, because it's like a very disciplined way. It's like directly gyro, right, into your into like the investment. So I think that helped a lot, like, you know, like a disciplined form of like investing, because you always know that you have this money that's like ballooning every month, like, you know, because of like regularly you're putting money into it. So I do think that helped a lot. And maybe if I didn't have to give my parents allowance, maybe I can save even more. But I give like 15% of my take-home salary to my parents. So I think I think maybe I could have saved even more lah. But I think it's doable.
But let's say like like putting 50% on like Grab, Haidilao. What if that gives me like more happiness than like putting 50% in like investment at all? Like, cause I feel like after I graduate, then I have my first salary, right? Also, it's like the mindset like, okay, I'm rich, you know, I have this amount of money, then I can like, you know, spend it to like take Grab, or maybe like upgrade my bubble tea from like Liho to Chicha. But that gives me like a very more substantial amount of happiness. Then what do you think about it?
So like drinking bubble tea, Haidilao is just a very temporary type of happiness. You have it now, but we always preach for delayed gratifications, right? With all these $50, it end up could be quite a sizable amount in the futures. I think nowadays it's actually much harder because you have social medias, right? You see comparison. There's so many fantastic bubble tea out there, which is priced as quite a premium pricing. So many activities that's much expensive like compared to 10 years ago. 10 years ago there wasn't even Grab, there isn't Haidilao. Last time after clubbing, go supper, it's just prata, right? It's only like $2, $3. And nowadays everything, the price is insane lah. But then at the same time, I think the graduates now also earning a better pay compared to 10 years ago. And now investing is so much more convenient, lower barrier entries. So end of the day, we always recommend at least please set aside a certain percentage for investing. Then the rest of it you can use it as like a fun money to pamper yourself, which is important. I think you shouldn't just be a 100% saver.
Okay, I think on that note, right, I think we should definitely strike a balance between you know, spending things that make you happy today and like things that will make you happy like in the future. Because like I think like you imagine, right, if you're someone that like, wow, you really just die want to save up for the future, and then what if like tomorrow, like touch wood lah, but tomorrow you die? That's so sad. You don't even get to spend the money that you so kuku save up, you know. So I feel like must strike a balance lah. So like definitely like at the same time you must, you know, think about your future, like, you know, save up for your future. I think like sometimes like you also can like reward yourself, you know, at the end of like, let's say the week, right, like okay, I can reward myself with a cup of bubble tea, you know, that kind of stuff. Or maybe like you actually invest in something, and then when you see your investment make money, right, you're like, oh, actually this property is free. My
Oh,
investment,
go math.
yeah, yeah, correct, yeah. So sometimes like I feel that we are like when I see my investment making money, then I feel a bit like okay lah, whatever I buy just now is like okay,
Is that
I'm
free?
covered for by my investment.
You actually can learn investing as quickly as within like half a day or even 1 or 2 hours. So I don't think there's any excuse to not learning how to do investing.